Good day everyone! Today, we are going to present our activity 1 and 4 in our field study. My name is Mahalaysa de Labuyan.
And I'm Joanne Labuyan.
Together with our group mates, Miss Camille Militar, Miss Riami Martinez, Miss Annalyn Mayo, Miss Eden G. Marino, and Mr. Cesar Barnachea. Activity 1 is titled Teacher's Knowledge on Content and Pedagogy. At the end of this activity, we, the FEC student, must be able to achieve the following intended learning outcomes. First, identify the strategies used by the teacher that promote numeracy skills, literacy skills, higher order thinking skills. Second, take an account on various strategies employed by the teacher. And third, observe and categorize classroom communication strategies employed by the teacher that support learners' maximum involvement and greater accomplishment. Activity 1 focuses on the pedagogical content knowledge that recognizes the importance of teachers' mastery of content knowledge and its interconnectedness within and across curriculum areas, coupled with the sound and critical understanding of the application of theories and principles of teaching and learning. This activity further encompasses teachers' ability to apply developmentally appropriate and meaningful pedagogy grounded on content knowledge and pedagogy. It takes into account teachers' proficiency in mother tongue, Filipino and English, and the teaching and learning process, as well as needed skills in the use of communication strategies, teaching strategies, and technologies to promote high-quality learning outcomes. Our observation report. Direction: complete the table. Indicate opposite each learning principle the part of the lesson where it or they are employed or utilized. Number 1. Effective learning begins with the setting of clear and high expectation of learning outcomes. The part of the lesson is objectives. The learning outcomes are indicated by the teacher. Number 2. Learning is an active process. The part of the lesson is preliminary. Based on our observation, the teacher did her best to keep the active process of our discussion going because both the learners and teacher will engage. Number 3. Learning is the discovery of personal meaning and relevance of ideas. The part of the lesson is motivation. We noticed that the teacher puts in a lot of effort she gave her learners activities to help them think about their lesson. Number 4. Learning is a cooperative and collaborative process. Learning is enhanced in an atmosphere of cooperation and collaboration. The part of the lesson is lesson proper. The teacher greatly improved her pupils' cooperation and collaboration because they are participated in a variety of activities during the discussion. Number 5. Learning involves creating supportive and responsive environments that are tuned to stimulate a learner to become active. It is influenced by the total environment. The part of the lesson is lesson proper. According to our observation, the pupils are at ease in their surroundings. They are all engaged and attentive to the teacher. Number 6. Learners master basic and component skills through practice. The part of the lesson is assessment. The teacher gave assessment to the learners at the end of the discussion. Number 7. Learning is stronger and more permanent in a positive emotional climate. The part of the lesson is evaluation. The teacher gave evaluation to the learners. Number 8. Acquiring and applying habits of mind improves learning performance. The part of the lesson is generalization. At the end of the discussion, the teacher gave generalization to the learners. Questions on Activity 1. Number 1. Are there other principles not applied by the teacher nor listed in the table? If yes, write them in the space provided. The teacher employs all of the learning principles. Number 2. What skills are developed or enhanced during the learning process? Cooperative skills, collaboration skills, communication skills, and critical thinking skills are developed or improved during the learning process. Number 3, what did the teacher do to enhance or develop the needed skills? The skills are developed or enhanced by giving activities that are usually done in groups. Number 4, what communication skills were utilized by the teacher during the teaching-learning process? The teacher's communication skills that were utilized during the teaching-learning process are the ability to listen to your students, explain things clearly, and praising them. Number 5, describe how the learners respond to the communication strategies of the teacher. When the teacher asks questions, the learner actively responds to her communication techniques. All of the learners actively participate in the learning process and respond appropriately. Direction: identify the strategy or technique used by the teacher throughout the learning process. Write or attach proof below the column of either inductive method of teaching or deductive method of teaching. Motivation: giving activities that is relevant to the topic. It is inductive method. Presentation of the lesson: the teacher used visual aids. It is deductive method. Development of the lesson: inquiry-based instruction is applied. It is inductive method. Generalization, closure, drawing, insights. The teacher used technology in the classroom to show the pictures. It is deductive method. Enrichment application, fixing skills. The teacher used collaborative teaching process. It is deductive method. Assessment or evaluation, it is inquiry-based instruction. It is inductive method. Agreement or assignment, guiding and asking question. It is inductive method. Analyzing. Number 1, are the learning principles applied by the teacher appropriate with the nature of the learners and learning conditions? Why or why not? Yes, that's because the teacher incorporates fun-filled activities into each section of her lesson, making the entertaining and learning process enjoyable and efficient. Number 2, did you observe passive learners? If yes, what might be the reasons why they are passive or silent? According to our observation, there are no passive learners. All are active and eager to learn. Number 3, are the communication strategies used by the teacher appropriate to the level of the learners? Justify your answer. The teacher assigns group activities so that the learners can share their knowledge and thoughts because the teacher is aware of each learner's ability. She ensures that the lesson discussed are understood by her pupils. Number 4, if you are the teacher, what possible learning principles and strategies would you apply to elicit meaningful learning? If I were the teacher, I would use participation, repetition, relevance, transference, and feedback because all of these things are useful and important especially in the learning process and will help you become a more effective teacher. Reflection. Number 1, among the principles of learning, which one is the most important for you? Substantiate your answer. All of the learning principles are important to us because they will serve as our guide to learn and communicate effectively, especially during the learning process. If one of the learning principles is not correctly applied, the learning process is ineffective. Number 2, what insight did you learn from the class activities that you have observed? The insights that we gain from observing the class activities is the teacher's ability to incorporate joyful, meaningful, and entertaining activities. Activity 4 is titled Teaching Learning Resources, ICT, and the Curriculum. At the end of this activity, the FSC student must be able to achieve the following learning outcomes. First, identify what type of curriculum are utilized in deputy schools. Second, describe how teaching and learning processes are sequenced to meet the curricular needs or requirements. Third, determine the teaching learning resources and ICT that facilitate teaching learning process. And fourth, evaluate the resources used in the learning environment. Learning overview. The demands of the global community are climbing to its zenith as time goes by. In line with the visions and missions of all the schools, state universities, and college, individuals are taught to regulate self-learning, level up the skills in problem-solving, immerse in the duties in the society, hone the character and personality so that they will be able to provide what is needed by the entire nation. We defined curriculum simply as a set of learning engagement tailored to nurture every learner's passion, indulging them to different experiences to make learning more authentic and effective. Teachers are the prime movers in the educative process, and their goals are to fill their minds with such knowledge, touch their hearts with core values such as of the good manners and right conduct, and equip their bodies with sufficient potentials leading them to success. A curriculum does not only entail lawfully implemented. We define curriculum simply as a set of learning engagement tailored to nurture every learner's passion, indulging them to different experiences to make learning more authentic and effective. Teachers are the prime movers in the educative process, and their goals are to fill their minds with such knowledge, touch their hearts with core values such as of the good manners and right conduct, and equip their bodies with sufficient potentials leading them to success. A curriculum does not only entail lawfully implemented strategies, roles, policies, and guidelines. There is what is also termed hidden. To specify, it is a type of curriculum that encompasses the planned implementations of the school. It refers to a kind of learning not gained by the teacher who teaches subjects, nor other activities that are partly extracurricular. It comes out from socializing with others, from the uncontrolled situations, and of course, from the practice involved in values education.
Our observation report. Complete the table below by identifying the types of curriculum that exist in the DepEd School, Laboratory Integrated School. Types of curriculum. First, recommended curriculum. Example K-12 curriculum for grade 5. It is located nationwide. It is specified that concept and skills that will be emphasized throughout the learning process. Number 2, written curriculum. Example lesson plan. It is school-based. What formula is sanctioned and approved for classroom delivery? What is written down for teaching? Number 3, thought curriculum. Example, activities that initiate group work. It is school-based. Refers to the manner in which teachers instruct their learners. These are forms of participation that involve group works. Number 4, supported curriculum. Examples, textbooks and visual aids. Classroom-based. Supported curriculum involves additional tools, resources in and outside the classroom. Number 5, assessed curriculum. Examples, assessment, quiz, and examination. Classroom-based. This is reflected in the learner's assessment or evaluation. Number 6, learned curriculum. Example, result of interaction, knowledge, attitude, and skills, school-based. That a learner makes sense as a result of interaction with the teachers. Number 7, hidden curriculum. Example, norms, values, behaviors. It is school-based, a collection of lessons learned but not openly intended.
Elements or components of a curriculum. Number 1, behavioral objects desired learning outcomes. To meet the learning objectives, the teacher used the following strategies: cooperation through groupings which engage all the student, visual analysis, which encourage interaction and curiosity, reflection, and valuing. 2. Content. Due to its clear learning objectives, use of a prior knowledge, engaging opening activity, learning activities, as well as its conclusion and assurance of assessment, the content complies with curriculum requirements. Number 3. Teaching and learning methods strategies. The teacher's strategies include cooperative learning through collaborations, in which pupils work together on a specific task to ensure that no one is left behind; differentiated instruction, which care to diverse learners by using pictures to facilitate analysis, discussion, and explanation; and formative assessment through a quiz. Number 4, assessment evaluation. Formative assessment was used in the form of a quiz designed around the topic discussed. Direction. Using the borrowed downloaded lesson plan, try to dissect, part, and identify the resources including ICT were utilized to facilitate teaching learning process. Number 1, motivation. ICT, laptop, and TV presenting photographic image. Non-ICT, collaboration, sharing insights, ATV, and pictures. Number 2, Presentation of the lesson. ICT, relevant materials through slides. About ang entrepreneur. Mga pamamaraan sa mga matagumpay na entrepreneur. Number 3, development of the lesson. ICT, the teacher show or give group activity through slides. Non-ICT, the pupils write the answer on the board. Number 4, generalization or closure. Non-ICT, the teacher questions the learner on what they have learned. Number 5, application or enrichments or fixing the skills. ICT, laptop and TV were the activity shown. Number 5, application or enrichment or fixing the skills. ICT, laptop and TV were the activity shown. Non-ICT, activity is answered through papers and pen. Number 6, evaluation or assessment. ICT, laptop and TV, presenting the quiz questions. Non-ICT, quiz, answered through paper and pen. Question. Number 1, after your observation, what did you notice about the flow of activities and the congruence of each activity to the objective intended learning outcomes? Elucidate your answer. The class flow is smooth, orderly, and well prepared from the start to be finished, ensuring that all of the desired learning activities are met. Teachers make good use of their time in fun way, but everyone is learning. Analyze. Number 1, how did you know that there exists such curriculum in a deputy school or laboratory school? One of the most important aspects of the student learning development is that curriculum. It is regarded as the most important requirements for effective instruction in any learning institution, implying that schools cannot exist without one. This curriculum serves as a guide for schools to ensure that they are on the right track. Curriculum established the framework for what will be taught in a school, allowing me to recognize the existence of curriculum in DepEd and laboratory school. Not only that, but RA 10533 provide evidence curriculum advancement and strengthening. Number 2, how do you set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes which are aligned with learning competencies? Learning objectives for what I want the student to know by the end of the grade assessment on what kind of tasks will show the student have achieved the identified learning objectives, and instructional strategies on what kind of extracurricular activities will reinforcement my learning objectives are all set as achievable and appropriate learning outcomes. Reflect. Number 1. As pre-service teacher, how do you plan, manage, and implement developmentally sequenced teaching and learning process to meet curriculum requirements in varied teaching contexts? As a pre-service teacher, I must be prepared and do my best to create learning materials that will serve as a guide for my teaching and learning process. To meet the curriculum requirements, I will carefully study the lesson plan content so that I can better follow it and make my teaching strategies effective. Number 2, how do you set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes which are aligned with learning competencies? Learning objectives for what I want student to know by the end of the lesson. Number 2, how do you set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes which are aligned with learning competencies? Learning objectives for what I want the student to know by the end of the grade assessment on what kind of tasks will show the student have achieved the identified learning objectives, and instructional strategies on what kind of extracurricular activities will reinforcement my learning objectives are all set as achievable and appropriate learning outcomes.